This has been a long time coming. My first ever film review in this style was taking a look at the Masters of Horror film John Carpenter's Pro-Life. A very meh film that was alright, but nothing special, with pretty decent creature effects, and a pretty bad one. I already went over what Masters of Horror is, but that was 4 years ago. So for you new people, Masters of Horror is a series started by director Mick Garris for the Showtime cable network. The name came from an informal dinner where Del Toro coined the term when wishing a woman at the restaurant happy birthday. Basic gist is take a bunch of horror directors of some renown, give them a small budget, and task them with making a roughly 50 to an hour long horror film. I've only seen 3 and reviewed 1, but this spoopy season I plan on making my way through the entire first season. That brings us to the premiere of the series, the 2005 American horror film Incident on and Off a Mountain Road. Directed by Don Coscarelli, who wrote it alongside Stephen Romano. You may know Coscarelli from his work on Phantasm or Bubba Hotep. Personally, I prefer one of those significantly over the other. He also did Beastmaster. Just wanted to bring that up, though it does have its scary moments too. The tale's screenplay is based on a short story by American author Joe R. Lansdale. The work was originally made into a Masters of Horror comic book that I only just now knew existed. I guess this makes this a film adaptation, then. But just what is a story being adapted? Well, it follows Bree Turner playing Ellen, who has an incident on and off a mountain road. I guess you can't say they lied on the tin. Well, this incident is a fight for survival against a killer known only as Moonface. He's big, scary, and tough, but Ellen has the woods and is prepared to go all first blood on him. Will she survive? Will there be revelations? Will there be a really rushed B-plot that isn't particularly good? Maybe. Maybe on or off a mountain road. This tale starts off on the road. I forgot. I'm sorry, man. That fucking title. This tale starts off on the road with road music that honestly isn't to my taste.
Or I should call you father.
Luckily, one crash knocks us back in time to Ethan Embry playing Bruce.
You can sell your baby, your 5-year-old kid, to a sex shop.
His first date talk could use some help, but she seems interested.
It's not so bad. If you don't think about the price of gas or the commuter traffic.
Oh, if only you knew how bad it would get. The dirty talk about Thai baby whores must have worked because she is wet before it rained. So doing the ramming sends her back, but being rammed sends her forward to present day. Well, better check on the other person. Like a good neighbor, Ellen is... I hope this isn't Chris's blood. He's big enough to be Chris.
Help me!
You know, you probably could have screamed earlier when Ellen was calling out young woman. Played by Heather Feeney. Was it really that hard to not just name her Heather? There's only 6 people in this entire film. Okay, Ellen, you better think of something fast. Chris is bringing the RE5 QuickTime event to you! Well, that was an option. So here we reach the meat of the film. Ellen is pursued by Moonface into the woods. He's hot on her trail, but through the power of flashbacks we learn that Bruce is a survivalist and has seen Rambo First Blood. This somehow translates to Ellen being able to find enough time to make elaborate traps that somewhat wound the killer. And I do mean enough time. This motherfucker just stops to let her make this stuff. Speaking of our killer, he really doesn't have much material in this film. But he's creepy enough for a killer and has a pretty cool knife. It works for what it is. Unlike the relationship, which is quickly decaying, apparently Bruce is blackpilled to hell and back while Ellen is pushed away for not taking amateur survival seriously. I'm sure the two of them will split amicably. Back in present day, Ellen is using amateur survival to create a death pit with one spike. But hey, she has a backup trap made with her underwear as rope. When she does it, it's cute. When I do it at Menards because they're out of twine, I'm called a sicko. Most of you are there for wood anyways. Shouldn't be surprised when you see some. So how well does this go anyways?
No, 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 no!
Damn, bitch, I haven't put out the Carnifex review yet, but You're giving those dumbasses a run for a Darwin Award. One pass out later and we're back in the happy times of Bruce asking Ellen to try and cut him with a knife.
Cut me.
Okay, hear me out. She's getting hotter. Anyways, they break up while Ellen gets tied down in the basement of Moonface. At least she has some company.
Didn't make the turn in the road either, huh? Well, 1 in 10 usually don't.
Buddy, played by Angus Scrim, who most of my audience probably recognizes as the tall man from the Phantasm films. At least as far as 2016. Turns out he outlived the film series that doesn't know what the fuck it's doing. I don't entirely hate Phantasm, I just really don't like how pointless the films get. Speaking of pointless, Moonface is back to finish off Young Woman by drilling her eyes out. That's cool and all, but does anyone else look at stuntman John DeSantis in that outfit and get reminded of the mutants from Uwe Boll's Far Cry? Yes, that film's on the list. Yes, I actually like that movie. Well, Buddy isn't just here to be a weird comedy relief, he also offers advice on how to escape. Yeah, Moonface never removed the embedded nail file, which she now uses to escape, but Buddy's an asshole.
She's loose! She's loose! Quiet! She's loose!
With no escape, Ellen engages Moonface in combat. Go for the eyes and mouth. Catching him with his own knife, Ellen gives the first usage of his name.
I'm Moonface.
So Moonface plummets to his death. Though he did survive multiple stabs and a heart to the knife, so realistically, he's probably still kicking. Anyways, time for a twist as it turns out Buddy is in the trunk. For you see, he forced his way into his house, then forced his way inside Ellen. So yeah, inspired by Moonface, she drills his eyes out before killing Buddy.
No!
Anyways, we bought the rights for this song, we better use it twice.
Every time I turn around, you're gone.
So that was Incident on and off a Mountain Road, which premiered in the United States October 28th, 2005, with a final appearance in Sweden September 22nd of that same year. Filming was done in British Columbia, Canada. I suppose it wasn't the worst force to end up there. One thing to note is that Ethan Embry would be a recurring actor, technically, as he would appear in the 2008 film Fear itself, which would have been part of the 3rd season. Incident on a blah 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 is really meh. I'll admit, I've only seen 3 Master of Horror entries, but of the 3, Cigarette Burns is part of the 1st season and would have made a better opener. For the record, the other 2 films I've seen are Pro-Life and We All Scream for Ice Cream. There simply isn't much to say about this film. It seems like something I'd snag in a 10-movie pack or a collaborative off-brand horror anthology novel. Positives would be that the killer is intimidating and the brief bits of cat and mouse aren't bad, even though it's really one-sided and has constant moments of time seeming to pause. The film is literally just existing. I suppose for a quick bit of horror, or maybe just filler on episode quota, it's fine. However, I wouldn't suggest going out of your way to find this one. It's no hidden gem. Check into the motel. The road to this one is not that fun, on or off.
The Griever, look away, look away, look away, Dixie.
Oh, shut up!